Please forgive me for my poor writing skills, and if this is very long, I will try to summarize it as much as possible. I would just really like to share this experience, as it's like nothing I've ever experienced before. I have been taking psychedelics for a few years now, and ever since I heard about DMT, I've wanted to try it. I waited till I felt ready, and I felt like after all the trips and ego deaths I've experienced, I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be. So I got some changa and a bong and had my friend trip sit, just as a precaution. I was not nervous at all. I was actually quite excited for the experience. So I get nice and comfortable, put on some headphones and play some lofi, and I take the first hit. Time instantly stopped. As I exhale and move the bong, it's as if I'm watching a video and it's speeding up, then rewinding, then pausing over and over. It felt as if nothing was real and I was watching a movie, but someone else had the remote. I was feeling quite nervous at this point because it did not feel like visuals at all. My mind was as clear as ever, and reality was just shattered. So I tell myself to keep going, and I take a second hit. I start seeing geometric shapes and everything, and they start shrinking and getting bigger and moving around, very digital-like, as if I were in a game and there was a bug or glitch. I look at my hands and they look very ancient. All the lines are very defined, and my skin looks like stone. I start feeling this rising pressure in my chest, similar to the feeling when you're slowly going up a roller coaster right before the drop. All of a sudden, this entity pops up in front of me, right in my face, and it's not speaking, but I can feel that it's laughing, like it's enjoying scaring me. It's wearing this long tribal-like mask, which is white with black symbols painted all over it. At this point, I can still see that I'm in my bedroom, my eyes are still open, and I feel it grab my arms and it throws me with so much power, like those scenes in superhero movies where the guy is thrown through entire buildings, except instead of buildings, I'm ripping through dimensions. I land in this place, which looks like a jungle, but very animated. At the time, it felt so real, as if my actual life was just an illusion. Now just keep in mind that the entities weren't actually talking. It was more like I could feel the emotions they were feeling. So it was a lot more intense and way more powerful than actual words. So all these entities surround me, and they all had these tribal masks on. Their bodies were similar to a baboon or mandrill with what I can best describe as beige fur. On all fours, they were slightly taller than me and very intimidating. At this point, I was freaking out and I was pretty sure I was going to die. I was on the verge of crying, and I was just frozen in fear. So they start showing me all these things, which I unfortunately cannot recall, but they were just very intense about it, like they really wanted me to see those things. All of a sudden, I start hearing the music from the headphones, and these shapes appear everywhere, and they're dancing to the music. It was like the music was communicating to them, if that makes any sense at all. Then these snakes start slithering towards me, and they're very bright and colorful, and they seem to be enjoying the music. They start slithering all around my body, and I could feel their cold, silky smooth bodies all over me. I wasn't scared, it actually calmed me down. They were telling me to just relax and be calm. And then it ended. I was so freaked out after that experience, and it only lasted for about 5 minutes, but I felt like I needed to go back to try to understand what they were trying to tell me. I figured I'd be a lot calmer the second time now that I know what to expect. Oh, how wrong I was. After a couple of hours and a nice long nap, I get ready for my second attempt. This time, no music, just silence. So I take the first hit, and it's exactly like the first time. I take the second hit, and I get the same visuals as before, but way more intense. I start panicking and feel like I made a mistake, and I don't want to go back there. I then tell myself it's okay, there's no point turning back now. I take another hit, and I immediately blast off right back to the animated jungle. The tribal baboon grabs me by my shirt and pulls me close. Looking right into my eyes, then it throws me with so much force that I felt like I broke the sound barrier, and I land in this other part of the jungle. Then they just keep saying, look, do you understand? Over and over, the biggest one keeps throwing me to different places, and they keep asking me over and over again. I break down crying, and I'm telling them that I'm sorry, but I just don't understand, and I'm really trying. Now, I did not feel like they were hostile. They just really wanted me to understand something, and they were so intense about it, and I could just feel all that pressure, and it was just making me panic more and more. I knew they were trying to help me, and I could feel that they cared about me, but they were still freaking me out. Then they called someone, and behind them is this mountain. I see this enormous white snake coming down the mountain towards me. It felt like she was a goddess, with glowing blue eyes and a blue tongue, and I cannot even describe how beautiful she was. She was also insanely huge. It was as if she was larger than the universe itself. As she came towards me, I could just feel this sense of warmth and love. It instantly calmed me down. She showed me all these symbols and shapes, trying to help me understand. For the life of me, I still could not figure it out. Then the baboon came back, stood on two legs, grabbed me, pulled me right to his face, said, "You're not ready," and hurled me like a baseball. I landed back in my bedroom and opened my eyes, trembling in fear. This trip was about 7 minutes. I still do not know what the lesson was that I needed to learn, but I definitely feel like I need to take some time to focus on growing myself before I take DMT again. I will definitely take it again. I just know that now is not the time, because I'm certain the same thing is just going to keep happening unless I change. Thank you for taking the time. Have a great day and an epic trip.